choice but to like sit down and like, where am I going? Like, who is Brittany Renner? Like, what makes me happy? You know? So there's not a lot of guys. Yeah.
Okay, me. All right, look. But can you blame them though? And let's keep it funky now.
Okay.
And this is where I said this is
Mr. Legendary!
We're back. And today we gonna get straight to the point. We talking about Brittany Renner. I never really talked about Brittany Renner because I never thought that she gave me anything particular to talk about. I've seen most of her interviews. I have not read her book. I will say that because she brings that up in the interview with Cam Newton. But I've seen her video with Kevin Samuels. I've seen her video with Academics. And I've seen her argue with Fresh and Fit in its entirety. I watched the whole thing, both videos. And one of the things I noticed about Brittany Renner is I tend to understand her more the more she speaks. If you hear a clip from her, the same as people say about Kevin Samuels, if you hear a clip from Brittany Renner, you're not going to fully understand the way her mind works. She pretty much agrees and doesn't have an issue with men. Her problem is her understanding of men and her wanting certain things from men. She wants the minds of men to change, to accept what she has become. That's what I'm getting from Brittany Renner. But this is going to be a little lengthy video because I have to go over most of it. I was able to fast forward to the part where it gets juicy, and I really wanted to point out right now the way she's acting. I let it go a little bit before just to let y'all see how she is right now. She's sitting there with good posture. She's looking real feminine, real ladylike. She's a good looking woman. But I had to show y'all this because y'all know it's a reason. So let's go ahead and start playing this. Right now, Cam Newton's talking about primetime Deion Sanders. They were just talking about one of the coaches at the college that she went to go visit.
Projects him to do whatever. But to leave.
I know.
I would hate for him not to be appreciated in Jackson because what he's doing isn't just for Jackson State. Isn't just for the swag.
It's culture. He's a table shaker. Like, it's crazy.
This is awesome. So when I first heard this interview, I usually listen to YouTube while I'm working and doing other things. I primarily don't watch the videos, but I went back and I said I wanted to see exactly how she acted. This is my first time seeing this live. I wanted to see how she acted before the interview gets pretty much started. But this is perfect. This is awesome.
Bruh.
He's just different.
All right. So while you was there, what was the most commonly asked question?
While I was at Jackson State?
Yeah, well, like when you talked to did you talk to the team?
I did. I talked to the team. They had questions at the end. I think the one question that stood out in my mind by one of his players was, how do you go about love and relationships moving forward? Like, how are you not jaded? But to be honest, like, his boys were, like, tuned in. They asked really insightful questions, and I felt like they saw me, too. Like, that was actually the first time I was able to admit kind of what happened in my relationship and why I had been silent. So I don't know. I think for me it was a bunch of different questions that I felt like I was pretty impressed by. Like they were just really in tune, you know. And I didn't know what to expect because I'm like, this is a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you guys view me, you know, whatever. I just didn't know what to expect. But they really impressed me. Like he has a great group of guys down there. Like he has them all on one accord. Like let's be clear. So I think the question that stood out was, how do you move forward?
But how do you? Like, and I'll tee it up. Let's be honest. You've been in that limelight enough to know you can spot a sucker from a mile away.
Okay.
You can spot a real person from a mile away. And I'm trying to avoid from using
other terminology.
Other terminology that can't go on YouTube.
Now again, it's finally about to get started. But the whole point of that, me playing that clip, was to let you all see how she interacts with Cam Newton, how her posture is, the way the way her voice is, the words she's using. She's not using any curse words. She's talking all that natural. I'm not no body language expert, but I would say that it seems she's attracted to Cam Newton. She's being real feminine. I've seen her other interviews and the way she interacts with other men, and I've never seen her act the way she's acting right now. Let's go ahead and let that play.
You gotta censor it.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm filtering my convo, but I'm also emphasizing, like, how can you, or what gives you the notion to rank the type of men that you come in contact with on a day-to-day, and what makes you respect them?
If I can be completely transparent, I feel like ever since I put out my book in 2018, there was definitely a decline in interest, like DM-wise. And I think now, because I've been painted as such a villain and I leaned into that role, there are a lot of men that fear me. Like, I'll see them in my story views, you know what I mean? But it's like nobody's really going out of their way to pursue me. I think it's...
This is where I have a problem with Brittany Renner, because she understands the first step to solving a problem is acknowledging that there is a problem. She acknowledges that there's a problem with men approaching her. Now the next step is, why are the men having a problem approaching her? And this is the complete disconnect, and this is where this interview sets itself apart from any other interview that I've heard from her, because Cam Newton asks awesome questions, but I know he can't say some of the things that he probably wants to say, because at the end of the day he's still interviewing her, and you have to be respectful. But the disconnect comes because Brittany doesn't understand why men aren't approaching her, and she think it's out of fear. She think, oh, they're scared of me because I'm a villain, because I made this book, and she don't understand that just men don't want to deal with that. Men don't like it. They don't want to deal with it, and they don't have to deal with it. It's not about fear. It's just we don't want. Why would I deal with that when I can go over here and deal with this? It don't have to come with that. Men have options just like you have options, and men can choose to just say, you know what, I can have this outspoken social media IG model who may get mad and do a whole interview about me, or I can go over here and get an outspoken IG model who stays low key and ain't nobody never heard nothing about nobody she ever dealt with. And men are saying, hello. So let that play.
Really different being a woman in that situation versus like my baby daddy. You know, women will flock to him and not think twice of it. But to me, because I use my mouth, because I am on platforms, because I tell the truth, a lot of men want to steer clear of that. So
of course,
dating and like
she says it, but she don't acknowledge it. She says it and it's there and it's right on the tip of her tongue, but then she lets it go and passes it off as something else, and that's what really bothers me about the way she speaks.
Where it is now, there's not a lot of people that are like, hey, I'm interested, by the way. And
of course not.
You would think like guys are horny, at least they want to fuck, right? No, it's like it's really Sahara Desert in this bitch. Like in my prom, I used to wake up to like a bunch of good morning texts. It's like now it's just me. And I feel like
she even used the word, she said in her prom she used to get a lot of good morning texts, and a lot of bruh, if women could listen to Brittany Renner and see her for the things that she says and does, and also for the things that she doesn't say and doesn't do, you would get the full grasp of who and what she is. I don't think she's a bad person. I think she just lacks the understanding of men. She understands women completely. She understands living in women's truth, but she don't understand men's truth and why men don't want to pursue her. She thinks that's an issue.
At this point in my life, that's what I need, because I've always put men and love before me, and it's like now I have no choice but to like sit down and like, where am I going? Like, who is Brittany Renner? Like, what makes me happy? You know? So there's not a lot of guys. Yeah.
Okay, all right, look. But can you blame them though?
Can I blame them?
Let's keep it funky now.
Okay.
And this is where I said this. this is where everything is going to change, because Cam is he tries to say things that he knows is on his mind, and I think it's really interesting that she's speaking to a millionaire black man, millionaire who she has respect for, she's met before. She's speaking to a millionaire black man, high value or high earner, however she wants to classify him. She has respect for this black man, and he's about to give her some truth. So let's go ahead and hear what he says.
Keep it funky. Like,
Blame them for what?
I'm Cam Newton, right?
Okay.
And I ain't gonna lie. I'm not about to hit no DM with no Brittany talking about, hey, yo, what's good, what's popping, where you at? You in Atlanta? I see you in Atlanta, boom,
Why
slide
not?
through.
But why not?
Why not?
Because I don't want to end up in your book. Because in a lot of ways, real spill, I felt like you had to do what's best for you, and you did, and you capitalized on it. But that was to the discretion of somebody else.
He trying to make
You know
it
what I'm
sound better
saying?
now.
And whether you felt
move it
like
up.
that was what you needed to do to get on, I'm saying that from a person in my seat, it's like, damn, she pretty, bad, gorgeous, well represented, but I gotta walk lightly. Because she ain't just like no other Instagram model that's out there, because she really knows she could talk the talk, right? And when she goes and talks to a Jackson State, when she goes and talks to podcast Hollywood Unlocked,
listening so
Shade
heavy.
Room,
Yeah.
she ain't just, oh, Cam was cool. Oh, yeah, I did it. She giving details. Man, listen, man, I popped in, so-and-so, so-and-so. Matter of fact, and man, look, y'all, he had the nerve to, and you know, in innocence, where I'm just like, bro, I just want to reach out to you just to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like my time is being respected and protected. You know what I mean? Because you do.
He's steady trying to clean it up and trying to, you know, make it sound better. Like basically saying he said I won't talk to you because you talk too much, and he's trying to clean it up now by making it sound good and buttering it up. But what I really find interesting about this interview, because I said I watched the full Kevin Samuels interview, I watched the DJ Academics interview with Fresh and Fit, and with the Kevin Samuels, you had an older, more mature, higher paying man. She gave him a lot of femininity. She gave him a lot of soft spoken. There was a lot of femininity. There was a lot of respect there. When she went on argue with Fresh and Fit on DJ Academics, these are men that still are high earners, but she had no respect for. She had no attraction to. She came in on 12, and she, you know, it ended up getting better towards the end. But then we got Cam Newton, who I feel like was right in the middle of the Kevin Samuels and the Fresh and Fit. You got the mature, you got the money, you got the clean looks, but you also still have a young black man who like, hey, she's attracted to. So it was interesting to hear I wouldn't talk to you from this caliber of man. And let's just see how she reacts to this.
You had that platform, or your resume says differently.
Okay, so first of all, that's a lot to unpack, but I'm going to start with the first question is, did you read my book?
Spark Notes.
Ah!
I heard about
She's
it.
so mad.
Okay, so you spark noted my book.
She's so mad. Look at her
I know who
face.
you named.
You do, because I didn't name anyone in my book.
Bullshit.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Man, what?
I didn't name anyone, because you know what's so funny that you say that? Because of where we are in media today, again, just being in tune with what's going on. I never had to name anyone. I read Superhead's book in high school.
That should speak for itself. I've never read Superhead's book, but I heard it was just like basically a tell-all book about how she was an industry woman and dealt with all types of men and the celebrities that she named them all. What Brittany Renner missed, and what I just said about, I'm hoping that women could watch Brittany Renner and learn from, is that irregardless to what she thought about what Superhead did, what Corinne Steffens did, men viewed her differently from that point forward. There were lines crossed that can never be uncrossed. What Brittany Renner did was try to recreate the same thing. She did her own book, and she did it. She tried to do it in a different way, where I'm not going to name names. I'm going to still tell all the details, but I'm not going to name names. And that should put me in a different category than Corinne Steffens. And men are like, no. Irregardless of whether you put a name in there or not, we're still going to view you the same because you did the same thing. You just didn't put names on it. And we know that there could be a second book. There could be a third book where you like, you know what? They didn't piss me off. Now I'm going to tell it all. You put that out there. You didn't learn from her. You didn't learn from her mistakes. She never made it back after that. There's no celebrities that dealt with her after that, knowing that she's going to tell it all. No one.
Loved it. She named motherfuckers. This motherfucker got a 6-inch. This is that. I put dildo in his ass. Right.
Now.
I don't have to do that. I don't even have to put myself in a position where I have to go to court because you guys have already reported on so many things. Mm-hmm. All I do is just make the title just a little bit to where if you Dancing with the Devil, Soul Tied with a Songbird, Flag on the Play. Who could she be talking about? I never named anybody.
It don't matter.
So I think it's really interesting that you're saying, steer clear of Brittany Renner. You know, she's going to put you in a book. Nigga, I say, nigga. I never named anybody. Like, and there has not been one list that I've read online that had all 7 guys correct. But I just let y'all run with it because y'all gonna make me my money. Y'all gonna push my book.
So clear the air. So clear the air right now. Okay, when you look at when you look at the list of people that was kind of hinted in your book, nobody got them right.
Nobody. Not all 7, no.
Right.
There was just some people that people were naturally not gonna know because you don't know everything about my life.
That doesn't matter.
For the most part, a lot of those relationships were kind of public, so people put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
But no, that's not my style. Like, I've never posted screenshots. I've never outed anybody.
No.
Like, I've never put names in my book. So it's like, for you to say, oh, you steer clear of girls like that because she's gonna give detail. It's like, dude, I didn't even name anybody. I could.
See, and again, I don't think Brittany Renner is a bad person. I think she just lacks the understanding, because even with a multi-millionaire sitting here telling her to her face, ma'am, I wouldn't date you because of X, Y, and Z. She's like, but I didn't do Q. I did X, Y, and Z, but I didn't do Q. And she's like, well, that should count for something. You should not want to talk to me because I didn't do Q though. I did X, Y, and Z, but I didn't do Q, so you should still be okay with that, right? And men are like, no, we don't care whether you didn't do A through freaking A through W. We don't care if you didn't do A through W. The fact that you did X, Y, and Z, that's all that matters. And she misses that. She keeps trying to convince men to still deal with her, irregardless to the things that men are saying we don't want to deal with. And that's the issue.
And you guys wouldn't have taken me to court and won shit.
But what's the chick name? Oh. So in essence, and I'm keeping it funky. I'm keeping it a lima bean, a buck, which
like
people would say, cheers.
Fucking cheers to the truth and getting rid of all these fucking assumptions.
I may need some more wine, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I need some more. Based on this conversation, I'm like, not me naming people. I never fucking named anybody.
That's cool, but that's
your
my
assumption.
ignorance.
Ignorance. When you assume,
you
make an ass of you and me.
Yeah, I know it. So that's crazy that you still did that.
But I didn't. And I'm telling you, I never read your book. But if I were to go to my home, if I open my phone up right now and I go to a group chat and I say, hey, bruh, guess who I'm talking to right now? Boom. It's gonna be negative. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And them niggas would still fuck.
I swear they will.
Again, Cam is saying, listen, if I go to my multi-millionaire friends, sports buddies, whoever I know, and I go and say, I'm talking to Brittany Renner. All of these men are gonna have a common thing that they're gonna say. And her answer was, it doesn't matter because they'll still deal with me. Hold on, let me let her say some more.
And if I gave them the time of day, for real, stop. You fall in love. Stop playing. I don't care. You always like, I would never wife her. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You don't know me. You've never met me. You don't know how I am behind closed doors.
Right.
So yeah, y'all all sit there and do all that dumbass shit in group chat. But when it comes to when we out here on this blacktop in face to face, you're not talking about she's some whore. She's nobody I would take seriously. You respect me. It's like I came here by myself. No security.
None.
In Atlanta. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, fuck the group chat.
Leading to my next question.
There was so much to be said there. She completely ignored the fact that what men say matters. The opinions that men have matters if you want men. These things matter. And I think that we're going to start calling this the Brittany Rennering of modern women. Modern women think that we can still deal with men and we can brush off how men feel about women. And that's why she literally said earlier, it's the Sahara Desert, I'm not dating anyone. She said it's dry. No one will talk to her. But then they'll say, oh yeah, they'll be in the group chat, but they'll still smash. Of course they will. 99.9% of men will still have sex with Brittany Renner. I'm not gonna even say 99 because most of the celebrities, like I said, are like, no, I wouldn't even smash. According to her words, they won't even smash. The regular dudes will, because we're not afraid of being put in the book. They help us become famous. But the ones that she wants, are not gonna do it. And instead of she acknowledges that, but then she don't want to understand why. She just keep bypassing it, and this is the problem with all of her interviews. She misses this real important point that the way men think and feel matters.
Question: who do you represent?
I would say that I represent people who are ashamed to live in their truth. And I feel like my actions and just walking the walk, I feel like it's for those girls who feel like they don't have a voice, for girls that can relate to me, that are afraid of the backlash. Because the reality is me going out here and being myself, you see me publicly being crucified. You see me publicly being burned at the stake. This is what happens when you tell the truth.
Yeah.
False. God damn it. I wish somebody would interview her and she would sit down and stay long enough that they can truly say the way men feel. And I know a lot of men were mad at when Kevin Samuels did the interview because they're like, dude, we know you could have checked this, but you didn't. And then she went on Fresh and Fit and they were going back and forth, but then it became real mutual, and Myron still was getting at her and telling her like, no, you're not special, you're not nothing, but it didn't really sit well with her. And I think Cam could have done it because she has respect for him, but he's too busy trying to make sure he gets a good program, and he runs a show, which I understand, but it's not helping her and it's not helping women. She does not speak for most women because she looks different. She runs with different people, and she's not the average woman. So when she says stuff like this, she got average women watching like, well, I need to go write me a book and do all the same stuff that Brittany Renner did. And they all miss the point that Brittany Renner is also saying, hey, because of that book, no one will speak to me and no one will talk to me. And it just leaves this gaping hole inside of dating and relationships and families.
And it's supposed to scare other women into submission. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I should live my life in fear because, oh my God, what are people going to say if they don't want to marry me, right? But bitch, I'm standing on all 10 every time.
Every time.
And be like, wow, like this girl doesn't give a fuck. I do the same shit she does. She just talks about it. She's like a voice for me. So I don't even really categorize it as even.
If you want to end up with men shunning you and men saying, I don't want to deal with her, do exactly what Brittany Renner does. If you still want to deal with men, do not do what Brittany Renner does. Stay quiet. The more men know about this is like an unspoken rule between men and women. It can be the same for women in relationships when men are dibbling dabbling on the side. There's an unspoken rule that you just don't let it get back to your woman that you're doing shit. There's an unspoken rule with men that you don't let us know what the hell you did before us. We all know most of our women are not coming to us as virgins. We all know they didn't been with dudes and then did crazy shit before. But as long as it's not put into my head, as long as you haven't came to me and told me, hey, I sucked off 30 dudes, I've let 10 dudes hit Raw. As long as you're not saying that and putting that imagery in our head, we're fine. What Brittany Renner wants to do is say, listen, I did this, and this, and I still want you to love me for me. And men are like, no. You done messed up the unspoken rule. You done messed it up. You done told me. And I didn't want to know. And I shouldn't have to know because that's just the way I want it to go. She wants to overstep the boundary and still get the same results as the women who don't overstep the boundary. She's trying to move the goalpost. And men are saying, we're not going to allow you to move the goalpost. You're going to sit on the other side while the women who know how to follow the goalpost and where it's at, we're going to deal with those ones.
Than male or female. It's just about standing on principle, standing for what you believe in, and just accepting it how it comes. That's like my biggest thing. I'm not asking for anybody to understand me. I don't care if you don't. I'm not going to sit here and try to translate my soul for the world every interview. I'm going to get what I can get out of it, but it's like, this is who I am. I'm going to walk the walk, and I encourage more people to live in their truth, because if it...
No, stop. And this is where I got to talk about that Nicki Minaj live when she went with Lala. I think we're gonna do that as well, because it follows right in step with this Brittany Renner interview, where they're trying to convince women to do things the way that they think things should be done, and nobody's asking men. Nobody's saying, well, what will men think if I do stuff this way? What will men think if I focus on my career for my prime years in life? She already acknowledged. She acknowledged she has a prime. She acknowledged on her prime good morning text every day. Brittany Renner is 29, I think going on 30. She's out of her prime now. And now she's trying to encourage women to still do the same things she did. Do the same things she's doing now. And expect different results. Definition of insanity. Continue doing something and expecting the same thing, expecting different results. And you're going to get the same result as Brittany Renner if you do the same thing Brittany Renner did.
It can be destroyed by the truth, then it should be destroyed by the truth. And if that means people think I'm the Wicked Witch of the West because of how I move and the way I speak, that's just a jacket I'm going to have to wear. But I feel like it's better to just live in your truth and be honest, or to be hated, for whatever people think you are, than to pretend or to...
Not if you want men. Not if you want a man. You better not tell him. Do not fucking tell him. If a man asks you how many bodies you have, fucking lie. For one, you probably don't want to deal with a man who even wants to ask that question. But I promise you, no matter what you say, you can say 2 or you can say 100. The effect will still be the same. He's still going to hate it no matter what number you give him. Don't fucking tell it. There's unspoken rules and respect with men and women that we both have. And what she's trying to do is break down those barriers. She's trying to break down those mental barriers that make us who we are, that most men acknowledge are there, most women acknowledge are there. She's like, nope, I want to play it on the far side, and I still want those men who I value, not just all men. I want the men who I value to still come over to the side and want me, and that's not what they're doing.
To lie or to shrink myself. So it's just like, it is what it is.
Right, so I think we just answered a question about how does men, view you. I'm curious to know what the chicks got like. What you think a average chick got to say about you?
About me?
Right.
I feel like it goes one of two ways. I love how outspoken you are. That bitch is annoying. I think it's just like one of two things. I've met people, I say more recently, that are like, I love that you stand your ground.
Yeah.
But I think it's really that. Like, nobody under this umbrella where it's like, you're beautiful, you have a following, you have a voice. There's a lot of girls who have Instagram followings, but they're not fucking talking. You don't even know what their voice sounds like. So to just even speak, let alone speak truth, it's unheard of. I'm not doing anything spectacular, but in a realm of, frauds and followers, bitch, I'm the motherfucking Jesus.
You the goat.
Peep again. I gotta go back to why I started this video so early. Notice how she talking now. Notice how she just cussing up a storm. Notice how she not sitting there with the prissy fingers crossed. She talking, doing everything she want to say. I'm a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm a GOAT. Notice how everything's changed now. Once he said, you know what, I wouldn't talk to you. Now she's like, shit, I can move all that to the side and I can be who I want to be. But then she talking about those men don't know me. They don't know who I am. We see it. you keep going public. You're a public figure. We see how you talk to men. We see how you deal with people. We see how it is when you're angry. We see how it is when you're nice. We see it enough. We've seen enough, and men are fine with what they see on social media. We accept that. We accept who you are on social media and what you present. It's your fault if you present a false bravado for social media. That's on you.
It's like, wow, she's just, so, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
When it's all said and done, 5 years to 8 years from now, where do you see Brittany Renner? What you represent? What's your demographic? You know what I'm saying?
What's my demographic and what I represent? I mean, I think, well, 5 to 8 years, that's anything can change.
Mm-hmm.
Moment to moment. I think day to day even is too far ahead. But I would say that my biggest thing is I want to encourage people to think for themselves,
right,
question everything, and to live in your truth, whatever.
See, here's I told y'all, I say this in my videos all the time. Stop saying people. I hate interviewers. I hate people that give advice and they say people. You need to be specific. If you talking to women, you need to say, I want women to do it. Because what she's doing is she's saying that she lives in her truth and tells what she wants to do, but can't get men to accept her for her. Well, ma'am, if men are also living in their truth and they're doing things that they want to do and questioning everything, like you just said, they're questioning you, then they're also, getting that same advice and doing what they want to do. But you have a problem with it when the men do it. So don't say people should do it. Say women should do it then. Because you don't want men to live in their truth, because they're living in their truth by telling you we don't want this.
Whatever that is. That's really all my message is about. In any video that I post, any interview I do, it's the same story. My story doesn't change because it's just one truth. So I think that's what my biggest message is in 5 to 8 years, using my voice, using my platform, and getting people to just think for themselves and be whoever the fuck you really are. Yeah. Just be yourself.
Yeah. So my question now is, what's your type?
I don't have a type.
I ain't got no type. Hey!
I don't have a type.
That's a lie. That's a lie. We all got types.
Well, I feel like...
Preference. What's your preference?
I mean, I'd probably say someone taller than me. I hate to be shallow, but the fuck, it's what I want. Someone that takes care of themselves mentally, physically, someone who's in the gym. I wouldn't even say that has like a label to it, like, oh, it's athlete, or oh, it's rapper, or oh, it's corporate America, or whatever.
But
I just kind of feel like,
standard to it.
I don't really fucking know. I feel like I've been single since July, and I'm like, where am I really supposed to go from here? Because it just is like my type and all these other things, all these other factors, all these things that I thought were important. I'm
This
like,
is real emotion
who
here.
cares if you're fucking over
She's
6
really
foot? If
frustrated.
you're a fucking asshole, you're an asshole, right? So it's like, can't really say like I have a type or a preference. Like I have someone who fucking prefers me. Someone that prefers to be honest. Someone that prefers to show me what they're capable of versus, I think he'll change one day.
This is
Someone
real frustration.
who prefers to just be who they are.
Could you date a regular guy with no Instagram or less followers without a blue check than you?
I've done that already. That's what I'm saying.
He asked the wrong question. What he should have made it specific about money. He should have said, "Are you willing to date a McDonald's cashier who's making $40,000? Are you willing to do that?"
Saying I've worn a few hats, like the guy who nobody fucking knows. I've dated a lawyer. I've dated rappers, athletes, whoever, And I'm like, okay, so where do I go from here? Because it's like people say date down or to date someone who doesn't have this, but I'm like, I've already done that. I've already done that. So the answer is not about who I would date.
Yes, it
It's
is.
just, I feel like it's more so like, who is willing to step up to the plate? Because real is real.
Right.
Whether you are a 9 to 5 or whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a rapper, whoever.
Can you expand on step up to the...
She didn't answer the question. I just want to put that out there, that she did not answer would she date a regular guy. She said, I did. She didn't say that she would. She said there's whoever would step up to the plate. Guess what, Brittany? No one wants to step to that plate, and you should be able to accept that, understand it, and move forward.
plate for what?
Step up to the plate meaning although I feel like what I do is not different than like what you do, because let's be quite frank here. You said you have 7 kids, multiple baby mamas. I have 1 kid, 1 baby daddy. People look at me as damaged goods. We're not even factoring in.
Gotta stop saying people, men, women. Of course, women aren't gonna see her as damaged goods. It's not women. It's men. So stop saying people and let's say men.
And the perception of social media, because that's already a lot with just having a kid. Then you're adding, oh, she's social media, Instagram famous. Oh, she's dated these types of guys. Oh, she wrote a book?
Because that matters. It matters.
Not the book.
I mean, who is gonna step up? You gotta be a fucking unicorn, it feels like at this point, to take.
Gotta be a unicorn. You have to listen to men if you want men. It's so simple. It's this is why I say I don't think she's bad. I think she's so misinformed and so confused about the simplest thing that it sends her off into Never Neverland, because she just won't understand that men want this and men want it this way. She won't accept that.
Take on the challenge of like, I don't give a fuck who calls me a simp. I love Brittany Renner for her. And I don't know what that guy looks like, and I honestly cannot stress. Like, I can't worry about if he's over 6 foot or if he fucking plays a sport or not. I don't.
She's acknowledging now that I can't worry about height because my options are so limited now that I can't be specific to those things anymore. She's understanding that at her age and with her reputation, I can't be too picky. Can't worry about the age, can't worry about the check mark. I want to know who's willing to take this on. And unfortunately, no one is, and no one probably will.
Fucking know. Because at this point, me being me and seeing the options that are laid out, I'm like, it's slim.
It's low.
It's slow. It's dry season. I'm not gonna lie.
But was just talking about how dudes are still smashing, dudes are still deal with her. But then at the flip side, when she finally calms down and starts speaking her real and she's not in her emotions, it's slim. It's dry out here. Of course it is.
I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, since my book, I feel like it's taken a big decline. You know, and you explained that to me.
Right.
So it's like I don't know what my type is. I like real. I like honest. I like committed. I like someone who's just gonna tell me what it is and just let me know what I'm signing up for, as opposed to bamboozling me. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what that guy looks like.
I ask this question to my friends.
To
I ask this question to my friends a lot, and I really want to hear from a woman of your status to. Who is the couple of the culture that you would be like, if I got a dude, or when that day I get a dude, I wanna have these type of qualities that they present. Not to say that, you know, they don't have any flaws, or they're just perfect, or they're not able to kind of voice their opinions. But who do you see in a relationship that you say, you know what, oh, that's cute. I like that. I wanna imply that or apply those things when I have a man one day.
Sierra and Russell Wilson.
Of course.
What?
Sierra and Russell Wilson.
Of course.
Explain.
And here's why. Explain.
First of all, I don't know them personally. I mean, they could both be cheating on each other, and we don't know. But the Instagram pictures and videos are adorable. I feel like, if we're just being frank, to have a baby daddy like Future, and then a man come in and accept you and love you and treat you as you should have been treated when you were with him, step up to the plate and literally treat you like an actual goddess. That to me is ideal.
What's the ideal situation for her? To be able to do what you want when you're young, make your mistakes, and still have a man of value come in, willing to accept you, flaws and all, and just take you. Of course that's her ideal. Of course that's cute. Because that's what she wants. I don't have a problem with the fact that she wants that. What I have a problem with is the fact that she doesn't understand how rare of a man Russell Wilson is, how rare of a situation that is. That does not happen very often. That our man is going to say, you know what? I'm gonna accept the fact that you made mistakes, and I'm gonna contribute. I'm not only gonna just accept you with your flaws. I'm gonna help you fix them. That is so rare because men that have built themselves up are looking around and saying, I can take this project car and build it up, or I can just go buy a brand new 2023 and keep it moving. Most men are going to just take the 2023 and go off somewhere because we don't feel like having to work with anyone or having to build anything. Most men aren't going to do that, nor should they have to, because as she said, you want what you want, living your truth.
To me is more so of a realistic comparison because it's like, okay, maybe my baby doesn't have a future, but I still have a baby daddy by an NBA player. You know, a certain type of guy is going to want to have to step up and be secure in even fulfilling that role, let alone, like I said, you know, being the stepdad to someone else's kid. Yeah. So I feel like their relationship to me is more so goals because it's like this guy Future who's out here running rampant with girls who are 20 years old and nobody wants to talk.
Do you know him?
I don't know Future.
Okay, so you can't.
But we know who he is.
I ain't gonna let you go at my dog now.
Okay.
I ain't gonna let you.
He's in Atlanta. You're right.
He a god right here now. Shit, you brought some feature in that. That gonna go crazy.
But the reality is he's dated girls who are like 20 years old.
Okay.
Okay, he's like 40. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong. I'm gonna state it. Then I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with it. You obviously have a huge issue with that. Obviously.
But, you know, I was crucified for a 6-year age gap between me and my baby daddy. So anyways.
And again, this is where I gotta point out the discrepancy with the way Brittany Renner's mind works. She wants men and women to be treated equally. She wants women's standard. She only wants the equality when it's leaning to women getting men's rights. She doesn't want the same equality coming from the bad things that come with being a man. She just wants the good things. She wants to be able to say, okay, well, if he can date younger, I should be able to date younger. And that's just not how it is. It's not how society is. It's not how the market is. It's not even how biologically we are. I was just speaking to somebody about the fact that I'm an advocate of younger women dealing with older men. I believe, outside of the fact that men just want youth, I believe it's a better fit because the things that women want take time to develop in men. Most men aren't mature enough to become husbands until about after the age of 30. I was not. I was not mature enough. I was not man enough. I was not complete enough to be the man that I am now anytime before 30. It took time. And women mature faster than men. So a 23-year-old woman, a 23-year-old man are going to be so incompatible, especially in today's market, because women have high standards and most young men can't feel those standards. It just is what it is.
Different people, different rules. That's cool. But I feel like Future had Sierra and didn't obviously see her value. And not even that, didn't see the value within himself, which is why he couldn't see the value in her. So I think like
why are you I feel like you're coming at a lane where didn't Sierra see the value in Future?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I think that's a fair.
It's about no devil's advocate. It's about telling it like it is. You can't just talk about how valuable Sierra was, but then say this man who all these women want, all these women sleeping with, just didn't see the value in her. Like he didn't have no value either. Come on, man.
Fair point. I mean, we don't know where either one of them were, which is why I said,
of course not.
That illusion of what Sierra and Russell have created is considered goals. We have no idea what goes on in their household. We don't know who sacrificed what to get where, what conversations were had, and we don't even know if, hey, you know, maybe Future was like, you're trying to make me into something I'm not. I'm just standing up for myself. It's not going to work. Like, I mean, the reality is we don't fucking know anything. Mm-hmm. You know, I was just answering based on the outside looking in.
Right.
I'm not here to paint Future as some bad guy. I don't know him.
I never see that as
yeah,
that.
I guess I feel like too, it can be somewhat triggering when you're like, okay, you're 40 something and then you're dealing with a 20-year-old. Like, how serious are you really? Not that love has, there's like an age difference, like there has to be a specific age gap, but it's just like, what are you doing though? Because you do have a bunch of baby mamas. Like, you are kind of just out here all willy-nilly, so where is your end goal?
But you can say that about me too. I feel like when you
No, see that where he should have went, and I've heard this argument brought up before. She said Future has a bunch of baby mamas, so we got one man. I don't know how many kids Future has. I believe it may be like 10 or something. This has been told. I just didn't research it. One man. Let's give him 7 baby mamas, 10 kids. One man. 7 females. All knew that this man is irresponsible. He's not gonna commit. All of these females knew this, and still gave this man the greatest gift they can offer without getting the greatest gift that he can offer. One irresponsible man, 7 irresponsible women. And we're going to still say the problem is with the man. Physically, I've been waiting to bring this up. Physically, who is affected more from childbirth? Physically, if a man has 10 kids and a woman has 10 kids, who's affected more? Physically, biologically, whose body will be forever changed? Women. So, women have to move differently based on the fact that things will happen to them permanently from childbirth. This is why they say marry before you carry, because having a baby is a permanent change to your body that most men will hold you accountable for. You have more to lose by having a child than a man does. So you should move differently than men do.
You have 2 baby mamas, right?
I got 2, right?
That's not that many.
And I still love them dearly. But I'm ready for them to move on because I'm moving on. You see what I'm saying? And I say that with all respect. There's nothing that either one of my baby mamas can do or say that I'd never be there for. If she called me right now, either one of them call me right now, I'm going to be there like, listen, boom. We ain't got to be sleeping together for me to care and love you dearly. And I think that's the thing that people got it messed up.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? And anybody who I'm dealing with, they have to know to that she's still the mother of my kids. You know what I'm saying? So if she say she need me to be to this extreme, if it's all respect of the situation that I'm in or is going to be in, I need to be that. Because my biological kids aren't old enough for me to ask those questions like, Dad, what happened?
Right.
And my older kids, who I receive as my biological children, because I love them the same, they don't get nothing any different that my biological kids don't get or do get.
Right.
They're approaching that age where it's like, okay, what happened? And that's the person who I am preparing myself to be, to say, you know what, Jaden, I call him China, and Shakira, I call her Kiri. And I'm like, let's talk about it.
I wish I had a time.
But I'm not going to have that conversation with you at 10 years old. You don't know. I'm really not going to have that conversation with you at 14 and 15 because your mental understanding, you ain't lived long enough. I done been, you know.
So in my mind, if I'm a viewer and I'm like, okay, Kim has a lot of kids, where's the ring? Like, why didn't you marry her? Like, I'm confused why, because as a baby mama myself, let me just put myself in that shoes. It's like, why would you give me a forever commitment, which is a child, versus like, where's my ring?
Honestly, that's a great question.
I'm going to answer this before Cam Newton answers this, because he goes and he beats around the bush with his answer. We're going to play a little bit of it, but not much. But I'm going to answer this the way I believe most men would want to answer this if they can be brutally honest with women. Most men don't care about having kids with women. Most men want legacies. Most men are happy to impregnate women. If women don't require men to commit, they won't. most men are willing to give away our sperm to have our children, carry on our legacies, and won't think nothing else about it because it's not as much of a big deal as it is to women. As I stated earlier, our bodies don't change from childbirth. Women's do. So it's not so much as, why would you give her this forever commitment? That's not the commitment to us. Commitment to us is marriage. That's not the forever thing. The forever thing is putting that ring and giving her my last name and giving her power. That is more important to men. And again, this is where Brittany Renner lacks the understanding because she thinks that men should value childbirth more than marriage. And men are showing most women in the world that we value marriage more than childbirth because we'll give you 10 kids and won't give you a ring at all. That alone should tell you. She just asked him a question that she already had an answer to. He got 7 kids. He's willing to spread his seeds, but he's not willing to give anybody his last name. That should tell you right there that men value this more than this. And women, if women were, I don't want to use the word smarter, but if you just understood men more, you would also understand that men will impregnate you and won't give a damn about it. But when it comes to that ring, it's a different story.
And it's kind of moving me because, I just got hot. You feel me? But the thing is, that person that I was while we were having children together, I couldn't be the best husband. I wasn't prepared to be a husband then.
Of course not.
And
but I was prepared
the hourglass was shrinking for her. And I pride myself on doing this. When me and her was together, Kia, that is.
Of course.
We were both young. Mm-hmm. There wasn't nothing still, and I say this respectfully, there's still nothing that I would never do for her.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But at the same time, the person that she was when I met her, it wasn't the person that she was when I left her. When I met Kia, and I say this protecting her too, she didn't know, she wasn't the one to be like, I want to get married, I want this, I want that.
Right. And
I was more so the person that, man, my parents been together for 36 years. So I know what marriage looks like. The ups, the downs, the trials and tribulations. My dad is a preacher, father's a bishop.
Hallelujah.
You know what I'm saying? And my mom is, only thing she knows is number 1, church, and the only thing that she knows is my dad.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I want you to hear what he just said. He just said he met a girl, and when he first met her, she didn't require marriage. She was just wanted to just kick it and do stuff. He came from a background where he knew what marriage was. He knows that I have to marry someone I impregnate, but he found someone who didn't have those same values and didn't care. So, again, this goes into another analogy I said, by men being more immature than women, by women being more mature. You find a woman who's more mature than you and still saying, I don't even care about the ring. I'm fine with a seed without the ring. Guess what men are going to give you? Exactly what you require. That's what he's going to do. Exactly what you allow him to. It's not up to the men to control sex. Women control sex. We control relationships and we control commitment.
Right? So that's all. So I know what a woman looks like, a submissive woman that's very strong and independent, what she stands for.
Okay.
And I seen Kia really evolving into a woman that her standards was like, I ain't just no chick.
Baby mama.
I ain't just no baby mama, right? And when she kept putting pressure on me, I was like, I don't know if this is what I really want. You know what I'm saying? So selfishly, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do this for, that I'm trying to get myself together. And I was in Temptation Island.
Yeah.
A football player, young.
It's too late.
No, it's not even in my vocabulary, or no, it's not in the vocabulary of people that's serving or doing or benefiting me or the beneficiaries. And I just found myself in this downward spiral.
Yeah.
And did she deserve better? I will humbly say yes.
Of course, but she should have asked for better.
And the person that comes into her life and says, you know what, I will accept you for everything, for kids and all, that day's gonna come. And I would just hope
Probably
that
not.
they respect that I'm a hands-on dad first. You feel me? So you're going to have to see me
At some point.
at some point. You feel me? Because
I don't
number
wanna deal
one,
with
I
a woman
still
knowing
hold some
that's
type of
what you
contempt
put me.
to be able to discern for her, I believe, just like she has a right to discern the day when I say, I'm taking somebody serious and I want them to meet our children. So she still has to say, oh, I don't want her around our kids, right? And I will respect that, but at the same time, going back to the person that she was becoming, I was falling deeper into my own selfishness and realizing that I got to be better. I hope you
had to grow up.
have the patience, which she did, and she was around me through a lot of success, a lot of downfalls, and I respect her for that to this day. But it never led to the ultimate commitment, and that's a ring.
Of course not.
And to me, it's not even an apology that's needed. It's just like we just grew apart, right?
No,
and we
you
have a
grew
great
apart,
working
man.
relationship now where we have beautiful children and we're seeing them grow day in and day out. She does a great job with them and her supporting cast. And it's just like now, here I am. I'm trying to still get my feet to finding that perfect person
Now
that
you're
can
just trying to
come into
clean
my
it up.
life to accept me.
I hate that
just
he-
like she's,
I
wants
get it,
somebody to
but I hate
accept
that he
her.
keeps trying to clean
And
it up.
obviously my other baby mama to somebody to accept her, and knowing that the pressure for me is easy, right? I'm the beneficiary to this is what I got.
Yeah.
Like everybody got luggage.
It's different for you as a man.
Of
though.
course.
Yeah. You're not seen as damaged goods.
Of course.
Someone with 4 kids or even 1 kid is like, God, I'm taking on a lot. It's not that though. But
is that.
You kind of get a little bit of a pass too because you're Cam Newton. Like a lot of people will just flock just off.
Well, men get a pass because women want providers. Men aren't going looking for women to help take care of their kids. Cam Newton is not out here looking for a woman to help him take care of his 7 kids. But women are looking at Cam Newton saying, I need you to come help me take care of kids that aren't biologically yours. And if you want a man who you want to help take care of your life, you want him to take money out of his pocket and out of his kids' pockets to put into your pocket and your kids' pocket, he's going to be able to get a pass on some shit that you won't be able to get a pass on. I was just talking to a woman about this. If y'all want different outcomes, then you have to change the things that you understand and see. If we were talking about the first dating, how men want sex and women want providers, she's like, well, you know, if men don't want to, if men can wait for sex, then I'm willing to split the bill sometimes. I don't want him to provide, and in return, I won't give him sex. I said, you know what? If more women didn't expect men to pay for dates, and they said, listen, I don't want you to pay half because I don't want you to pay for me because I don't want you to expect nothing. While we're on dates, I'll pay my own way and you pay your own way, and that way you won't expect sex. If more women did that, more men wouldn't have a problem with this. The problem comes when y'all want it to be lopsided. When women say, you know what, we still want men to come in, give us all this money and stuff, and we still want you to just wait on sex, even though I have 3 kids and 3 baby daddies, and I've given away, you know, my body to multiples of men. I want you to still treat me like I was at the beginning. We're not the same. We're not treated the same. And I hate that Brittany through this entire video keeps saying, oh, y'all are different, y'all are different. Of course we are. And we're different because y'all want different things that we want.
Off of
The clout.
the clout, like the opportunity, like fuck yeah, I'll be one of 12, you know, I don't give a fuck, bitch, you know. So I think your reality is a lot different than theirs.
And I know that.
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty though, because
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to be that honest.
Wow.
Because I mean, my thing is I always wanted to know, because I'm like, how the fuck, you know, again, like being a baby mama, I'm like, how the fuck do you have all these kids and it's like you don't want to put a ring on it? But like you said, you either, you know, it's like you grow together, you grow apart. It's really that simple.
But I ask you this too. Are your parents still together?
Our parents were never together,
So you're coming from that background.
right?
How are you going to brace yourself or prepare yourself to go into something that you don't even have a great figure to mimic?
Cam is asking Kevin Samuels questions in a better way What he's asking her is, how are you preparing yourself to be a wife if you don't know what a wife is? And that's very interesting because she keeps trying to talk about relationships that she's never, I'm not going to say never seen this work, because she just told us that she saw it work with Russell Wilson and Sierra. She's seen this work one time and she's going off of, well, if Sierra can do it, everyone should be able to do it. And she doesn't understand how rare that is, because that's one of the only instances where I've seen this work and where she's seen this work. And she thinks, oh, it happened once. It's there's a chance. And she just run with it.
I mean, I don't feel like you need a figure to mimic to be able to emulate it. So I think for me, I've always really wanted, one man, family household. That's it. That's why I left college at Jackson State after a year and a half. That's why I just recently moved from Los Angeles, California to Charlotte, North Carolina to be with my baby daddy. So it's like, I feel like for me, just because I've never seen it doesn't mean I never had the vision of it. So I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's just something that is instilled in me where I do believe in love. Maybe I've never seen it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist and doesn't mean I can't have it.
It's not about love. He's not asking about love. He's asking about, that's why he had to be a little more specific, and this is why Kevin Samuels asks questions the way he asks, because you can't, once you leave the door open to give them something else to classify it as, they're going to do exactly what she just did. She's going to switch it to about love. Well, I know what love is because I have an idea about love. Well, I know what this is because I have an idea of it, but you don't know what men want, and that's why your ideas aren't working. That's why you just told us it's dry, because you don't have the right idea. You have an idea. It may work, but more than likely, you're going to end up in the same predicament you're in now.
I don't need to see it modeled to want to do it.
But I'm gonna call cap on that.
And if you want men to be the way of old, if you want the same outcome as those women, you're gonna need to do the same things those women did with those men.
Why?
Big lie, because this is what I do know. When things get tough,
okay,
when trials and tribulations does come,
life,
you need somebody who's walking the walk rather than just talking the talk. That you say,
okay,
girl, you know what? Man, I just caught this dude texting another girl. I'm ready to leave, girl. Like, tell me something that's gonna get me from jumping off this edge, because Lamar ass, I'm sick of his ass. I'm sick of his shit.
Yeah.
But if you don't have nobody to be like, girl, I had to do the same thing with Chase. Me and us, we've been married for X amount of years, and it's tough. But it's worth it. Because beauty is in the struggle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I can't sit here
This
through
doesn't
this.
work. This does what? She doesn't think so, but has no proof that her way works. What Cam says has worked. What she's saying is, even though that's that way, I believe it can be this way, regardless of if it hasn't worked or hasn't worked. I just believe it can because I'm manifesting it.
And I am going to answer this question before I have to use the bathroom because I had too much to drink. Not too much to drink, but just enough. That's bullshit. Because in reality, if your baby mama was doing that dumbass shit to you and accidentally slipping and sliding and sitting on dicks, that's not an accident. It is a planned choice that she decided to entertain, whether that's text message, whether that's sex, whether that's whatever. That's bullshit. That's where I'm like, this is bullshit. What I'm saying, no man would accept. Women stay, oh, I got cheated on. I mean, I guess that's what comes with this lifestyle. At least I got this back.
That's exactly what comes with this lifestyle. That's what comes with the lifestyle of wanting these high value, high wanted men. You're going to have women who also want your man at a high volume. 100% of women want 10% of men. And if a man has options like that, at some point he may explore them. I'm gonna leave it at may. He may explore them. You have to understand that because you chose that. You wanted that 10% of men. You could have got the other 90 and been perfectly fine. No, you said, no, I want the 10. Even though he's wanted by all these women, I want that. You have to deal with what comes with that. She's unwilling to deal with that, and that's why this conversation is continuing to go, because she still doesn't realize that men and women are different. She's still saying that's bullshit, because if it was a woman, blah, blah, blah. Of course not. Because men don't have to deal with it. Women don't have to deal with it for real, but they choose to because they want those men. You can go get a regular dude and not have to worry about that type of things, but you choose to deal with it.
Fuck that. Fuck that. You guys wouldn't even say if a woman, if your baby mom, Kia, if she was fucking other niggas, you would not accept that. Bitch, bye-bye. I'll talk to you later. I'ma holla at you.
You don't have to.
Bitch, I'm gonna pay you some child support. Take me to court, bitch. Because I don't want to even pay you.
Can I ask you a question?
Fuck out of here. That's bullshit.
Can I ask you a
That's
question?
crazy.
You're right.
That's fucking great. I'm gonna take
But-
fucking heels off of this shit.
but-
I'm gonna fight.
Let me ask you this. Honestly, keep it funky.
What?
Have you ever cheated?
When I was 16 years old.
Now, this is pretty much the end of the interview. I don't think there's nothing else relevant to talk about. As I stated throughout the entirety of the video, I don't think Brittany Renner is a bad person. I believe she gives out bad information because she truly believes that she can change men. She can change the way men think. She can change the dynamics and the relationships between men and women just because she believes that they should be changed. Irregardless to what men think, irregardless to what most women think, she believes that, hey, I need to just keep saying this because I think it'll work. Even though it's not even working in her favor right now. It's not working. What she's doing and what she's saying has not worked. It's actually causing her to get less attention from men and less men. And she still thinks by saying it, it'll just work out. I wish more women could see this the way we see this, because it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. In her own words, she said it. It's an interview she made. She's saying, I don't have results. I don't have men based on my actions. She's literally saying that. And Cam Newton, the multimillionaire black athlete, is saying, I wouldn't deal with you based on your actions. That's the crux of the whole interview. Tell me where I went right. Tell me where I went wrong. And as always, over here, we argue facts, not emotions. I'm out.